You're listening to Exploring Anime with Friends, a JMO for Real podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all major podcasting networks. I'm your host, JMO! And today's friend is my wife and co-host. How's it going today, Sarah?
Hi, everyone. It's going great today.
Excellent. Are you ready for today's episode of Exploring Anime with Friends Movie Edition?
Yes, I am.
All right, today we'll be exploring the world of Wolf Children, a coming-of-age urban fantasy released in April of 2013. First, we will look into the early history of how Hana met the Wolfman and the family that they started to form together. Then we will cover growing up in the city with Hana as a single mother and the two wolf children that she's trying to take care of. Then we will move out with them to the countryside and see some of the struggles as they try to make it in a land without convenience. And finally, we will follow the kids as they grow up and decide whether they are more wolf or whether they are more children. And if you like what you're hearing today, remember to check us out on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Hannah. Let's talk about her a little. At the beginning of the movie, we see her in a classroom setting. I guess a philosophy class or something. They're talking about Socrates,
Yes,
right?
they're talking about Socrates, I think.
Tell us a little bit about her and who she observes in that classroom.
I mean, I kind of really like Hana. She's a very, sweet, gentle sort, and she's just all around nice person. We like people like Hana in our lives. They're good people to have. While she's getting up from class, and in this particular classroom, they have to turn in attendance slips at the end of the class, and the teacher signs them to show that, yes, the person was here and they took this class. Hana realizes there's this guy that just left without turning in an attendance slip, so she kind of follows after him and is like, hey, you forgot to do your attendance slip. Don't you want to get credit for the class? And he's just like, I'm not really a student here. Most people don't really have that gumption just to go sit in on lectures and stuff, but this particular person does.
Yeah.
And she kind of loses sight of him for a second. He just kind of basically says he's just, if he's being too obvious, he'll just stop coming. But then she goes after him again, and she's like, hey, this class is hard enough. Why don't we share a textbook? Because she realized while they were in the class that he is just furiously writing notes and she doesn't see any kind of textbook. So she offers to share a textbook with him.
Yeah, and it's a really nice scene because at this point in time, it really kind of starts their relationship. Immediately, it starts to bud. He takes her up on her offer. The next day that she's in class, he eventually comes into the classroom late and he sits down beside her and they share the textbook together. And the relationship just kind of blossoms from there. And it goes into what is a beautiful montage, right?
It's lovely. Yeah.
We're going to take this moment. Soundtrack, absolutely
Soundtrack was
amazing.
fantastic. Oh, yes.
And their use of the montage in several different parts throughout the course of the movie was just brilliantly done because, it's really hard to make a movie that spans roughly about
I know the
children
exact
are 10
number.
at the end. What is it?
13 years.
I was going to guess 12.
Okay,
but
yeah, you almost had it.
yeah, so the movie spans 13 years as a whole. And they did it so seamlessly.
Oh,
It
yeah.
didn't feel rushed, right?
It didn't. No, the pacing was great with the montages and everything. Showed just enough, but not too quick. It was excellent.
And you're following the montage of their relationship really forming and really starting to bud. And you see that he's a mover by trade and she works in a dry cleaner shop. And you're just following their progress as they're going on dates, as they're meeting each other after work, as they're spending time with each other. And it really kind of all builds up to this one night where they agreed to meet up in front of her place, and he is very late. And it's almost because he was struggling with, right? He was struggling with whether to tell her or not.
He has a secret.
Yep.
Secrets aren't easy to tell, especially the secret.
Yeah, especially not this secret. And she looks up, and one of the things that we kind of did not get to with Hana right at the beginning is that she is a very smiley person too.
She is, yes.
It comes up in conversation with the Wolfman. She doesn't know he's a Wolfman yet, but he doesn't have a name, so we can't give him a name other than Wolfman. So we're kind of spoiling it for you right there.
His name is not given.
But it's one of those things where at that moment she looks up at him and smiles even after he's late. It reminds us of when she was always told to smile even when things are going hard. That way you can help get yourself through the hard times.
Words of wisdom.
Yep. It's not easy to smile some days. It's not
Oh,
easy to
no.
smile sometimes. But she smiles not to put up a front that everything's right, but to show that everything will be right. And at that moment, I think that smile in that scene really kind of wins him over. And he takes her outside of the city because,
They're in Tokyo.
yeah, they're in Tokyo.
Yeah, they're a pretty big city.
Yep. He takes her outside of the city and he transforms in front of her, showing her that he's a wolf man. And that just leads to another montage, right?
Yeah.
They share the kiss, and the next day it shows them waking up in bed with each other's. And from there, the next montage begins, and it just kind of goes through the progression, and you quickly realize she's throwing up in the morning, right?
A little bit of morning sickness.
Yeah.
What could that be?
Talk to us a little bit about what the next stage of their life is going to be.
I mean, it's quite obvious that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, morning sickness is such a thing for pregnancies. My first one, I really didn't have to deal with it personally, which was fantastic. It's the easiest way in a show, in a book, in anything to show, hey, this character's pregnant without just saying it.
Yeah.
So it goes through her being pregnant and she's not really eating that well because everything tastes terrible and just makes her feel gross and sick-ish. So one day he comes home and he's just carrying like a pheasant or something like that. And she's
Because
like,
he hunted it.
he hunted it. He brought it home for her. He was a good husband. He hunted and
Good
brought
boy,
the
good
food home.
boy.
Good boy. Yes, good boy. And he makes her this like soup with it. And she's finally something that she can eat that she's not making her sick.
And that smile brilliantly floods her face because she realizes how much work he put in to provide for her. And that kind of foreshadows something that we didn't realize would come back so quickly. But he instinctively went out on the hunt because his spouse needed it.
Because his mate,
And
within the wolf terms,
his mate needed
his
it.
mate needed it.
So he instinctively took over, went into wolf form, and hunted the pheasant for her. And this continues to lead into a montage. Man, the musical montages were brilliantly done.
Absolutely.
I can't explain it here, but you'll see it when you watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into the birth of their first child and the pregnancy of their second child. And we don't necessarily, they seem to be doing well enough with financials, but on the night that the second child is given birth to, he realizes he needs to hunt for them. Before we get into that too much, let's go into the whole process of the decisions she has to make. Because one of the things when she is confronted with something that she doesn't know what to do, because she's dealing with a wolf man and wolf children,
Yes.
she goes to the library
Oh, yeah.
and she gets out the book.
She gets all the books.
And you're seeing her get all these books on natural birthing and everything.
That was for the first one.
Yeah.
Man, as someone who has delivered 2 children, there was a point in both of those deliveries that I felt like I needed that epidural. To do it at home with like nothing, mad props to anyone who can. If you have to use an epidural, this is a little plug-in. Fine, use it. You do what you gotta do to keep yourself well and like not going crazy while you're trying to deliver a baby. But to do it without anything, gosh, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, no, the pain must have been immense. Like, I can imagine it even less than you can. So.
I tried not to. I'll admit I tried not to, but like, whoo.
But yeah, so they make all that decision, and the night that the son is born and everything, and because the first one born is the daughter, and the second one born is the son, and their names are Yuki and Ami. The son is born, and the father instinctively goes out to hunt for his family because he's still working with some of the instinct.
He's got a lot of that wolf in him. He's still wolf.
Yeah,
Part wolf.
He lives in the city, and I'm going to tangent again one more time.
Okay, go for it.
Because he was told to hide what he was and blend into society, he never fully made the decision whether he was a wolf or a person.
That's fair.
And he is a person living in Tokyo, helping move things around for people, who still gets the wolf urges taking over, the instinct taken over, because he didn't have the outlet to choose, so he was forced to suppress part of it. And as a result, that suppression comes out. And this time, it couldn't be in a worse moment, because a wolf is seen roaming through Tokyo, and it's put down. Talk to us a little bit about that jarring scene.
I mean, doesn't exactly show us. I think in the manga or the anime, because I actually did read the manga. It shows his wolf form and there's feathers, so you know he was hunting. It's
Yeah.
actually like, I think it's unique that they brought out the pheasant because I'm pretty sure those feathers match some of the pheasant. So I think he was able to find that again. And I don't know, to me it looked like he'd gotten like caught in something and it was raining and he just couldn't get himself free. But either way, you see like city workers pulling the body out and just throwing it away. And unfortunately, because Hana realizes that she's been gone too long. You know, he was supposed to go shopping. Yes, that was on the list. He needed to go shopping. And when she leaves the apartment, groceries are there. His wallet's there too.
Yeah.
And she's realizing again, he's gone too long. So she just straps both kids to her and she is just running through the streets as it's raining, just trying to find him. And she sees him there and she sees the workers just tossing him in a dump truck pretty much. And it breaks something in her for a moment, which it would anyone that has had a loving, nurturing relationship, that would absolutely just break them seeing that happen.
Yet she still has a strength and a resilience
Yeah.
too. Like she is a single mom now at this point in time with 2 young kids, but it's not just 2 young kids. It's 2 young wolf children. There was a night when one of the children was sick and she's looking back and forth because the child's hospital and the veterinarian clinic
It's
are
like
across the street from
side by
each
side
other.
practically. Yeah, they're across the
And
street.
she's just trying to figure it out. And she does a quick call to find out, my child ate this and they threw up a few times. Are they in danger? And it's kind of like, how's the child doing now? Did they have an appetite? And little Yuki's standing there all happy saying that she's hungry.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, oh, good.
Yeah.
It gives her a big hug. But Hana is a very strong,
Oh, man.
resilient woman. Talk to us a little bit about Hana's strength and the decision that she makes for her children.
Well, you see it throughout the show that she's come against certain things. For example, neighbors not liking, even when he's not being a wolf or anything. Little Ami was not a very good sleeper. And we had that situation kind of with Autumn where she didn't want to go sleep, but Ami was crying a lot into the night. And her neighbors were not the type of be like, hey, I know you're having trouble. Could you kind of quiet your kid now? No, they were terrible about it. We were like, shut that brat up, which something inside me reacted very visceral to that.
Yeah, just wanted to deck them.
Just wanted to lash out at that person as a parent. Like, you don't know what they're going through.
Which proves how strong she is because she didn't
lash out. She was just like,
lash out.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Now, I wish she didn't apologize.
Yeah,
but
okay, right.
Maybe a little defiance in the tone would have been nice, but at the same time, not lashing out speaks volumes.
So that, and it gets to the point where the kids are old enough where they're just bouncing back and forth from wolf to human, wolf to human, wolf to human, which is humorous to watch because they're just playing and rolling around with each other and they'll just switch randomly back and forth. And then they'll start to howl in the evening. So her landlord's like, you're not allowed to have pets. People have been complaining about dogs. You're not allowed to have pets. But the real icebreaker is when child services shows up.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get in and they're like, this is just a well visit. We just want to make sure your kids are okay. We know they haven't been to the doctor. We know they don't have any vaccines. We need to make sure they're well. And the kids are asleep as wolves. So it's not like she can be like, okay, look, they're fine. They're sleeping. So she has to block them and keep them out. And they're threatening her at this point. One of the 2 workers is like, your kids are going to get taken away. This is going to be one of those red flag signs. And she finally figures out the best thing she can do. The only thing she can do is get out of the city, go to a place farther away where there's no neighbors nearby, where the kids can just be themselves.
And choose their path in life.
Yep.
If you like what you're hearing so far, remember to check this movie out for yourself. It's Wolf Children. It's one of the ones you're going to have to pay for. You can get it through Fandango. You can get it through Amazon Prime. You're going to have to shell out a little for it. But another good thing, too, is this is one that's really worthwhile. And it's actually with a new company now after not being available. So the DVDs are actually being reprinted through the course of this year. So I would recommend that this is something that's actually worth getting. Just throwing that out there. I know we plan on adding it to our collection.
Oh, definitely.
We watched it through Amazon Prime. And if you like what you're hearing today on the show, remember to check us out on social media, subscribe, and follow. So they're moving out to the countryside, and they have a person leading them around and
It's a great guy.
explaining all the things. It's like, this is an hour away from the elementary school or a half hour or
It's
something.
a half hour, yeah.
And it's 2 hours away from the middle school. And
I wouldn't
Neighbors are
been
pretty
yeah.
far away, and it's kind of like the ground's really not good for crops. There's a lot of wildlife. It is a lot of space, but it's run down. So we know you don't want this one. We'll show you one closer to the town. And Hannah's like, this is perfect.
She's like, "We'll take it." And it's like, this building that's dilapidated. It needs some serious help.
The shed is dilapidated.
Okay, the shed is
The building is
dilapidated.
standing up nice and firm. It's
Yes.
just, it's very dirty. And it's got holes
Got
in the
holes with
ceiling
stuff,
and the floors.
yeah. A lot of patches.
But man, that's another brilliantly
Oh,
done
yes.
montage. We've seen a lot of stuff in our times. I would say that these montages were better than like Phineas and Ferb montages.
Dang, that's rough.
And Phineas and Ferb montages, as far as I'm concerned, were like
Top notch.
the standard. And you know, I guess some that pop into my mind are like Rocky training montages. This movie is up there with the other goats of montage. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Like, and I know it sounds
Funny
like
the way
I
you
keep
say
on
it.
bringing it up way too much, but I had to eventually say it because, like, I don't know.
I mean, they
haven't
are really
seen-
good. They do it well because, I mean, they show everything getting cleaned up. They show the kids just being kids, whether they're running around as wolves or whether they're running around as kids. Like, Yuki keeps, like, picking up bugs and snakes and stuff and scaring Ami with them. And
Yeah,
it's just great.
Ami is wanting to just be a child and doesn't want all the nature. It's pretty clear that he is on the path to choosing his path as a human. And it's pretty clear that with how involved Yuki is, very much leaning towards that wolf path,
Yeah.
because she's bringing back things all the time. It's brilliant to see them growing through the early years, seeing the mom marking their
Oh,
little
yeah, their
heights
height on the
the pillar, and it's kind of like, you know, at age 3, age 4, at age 4, age 5, at age 5, age 6. We have that doorway in this house.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
was
This is
cute.
such a great movie
was.
parents are probably going to enjoy it more than non-parents, but it's still a great
Hey, Autumn
movie as
loved
a
it.
whole. Oh yeah, Autumn loved it. And it was just great watching these kids grow up, but
Mhm.
one thing was happening and the crops were not coming through.
Yeah, living as far away as they did, and the money, like, she wasn't working. They were living off what little bit they already had, and the money was starting to get less and less there.
I think he did a well job as a mover, and he
He
had
was a good saver. He was probably frugal.
he had a lot of money in his wallet when it was left for her, so she was able to live off of it. But it's one of those things where things are starting to run out, and the townspeople early on were taking the whole approach. It's like, well, no, she's city.
gonna
She's
leave.
gonna leave. She'll be gone in like a week. First hard struggle, she'll be gone, but she isn't.
Nope.
And
She's
she
not a
keeps on
quitter.
going, and she keeps on asking questions, and she keeps on going to the library
Getting
to get books
Yeah.
and learn and teach. And she's just doing everything to better herself
Mm-hmm.
so that she can better her family and give her kids the life they deserve, whether they choose to be human or whether they choose to be wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandpa Narasaki sees this, and he's a grumpy old man.
He's
Talk
grumpy.
to us about
He's
Narasaki.
you said it. He's grumpy. I don't know. Blunt isn't even the word. He's just like grumpy, but he's helpful. He's
Yeah.
very, very helpful. He gives her potato seeds, and eventually, when she starts to plant them, he's there, and he's just like, well, you might as well just throw them away. And he just digs them back up, and he's like, well, you might as well just throw these away. And it really like hurt her the way he said it, and he really didn't give much context besides that their soil is just trash, and they've got to retill it, and they've got to like work harder at it, basically. And she does. So he's there with his frown, watching her, and just pretty much barking orders at her here and there. But she's listening, which is the good thing. Like, some people might have been affronted by this attitude.
And eventually, it's all working out. Her 2 fields of potatoes completely grow in. And you know at this point in time, because there's like a crack of a smile on his face in one scene where he's trying not to show it, but you know that this was tough love. And I get it that some people don't appreciate tough love, but it was needed here. And, you know, sometimes it is just needed in life, and it gets her through. And she's wondering why there's so many potatoes, because how could they eat them all?
Yeah, right?
And then she starts bringing potatoes to other neighbors.
Well, because 2 guys helped her out too with like other things to plant with the potatoes so they wouldn't wither, and they had arguments back and forth. It was funny.
Yeah, it was
They
funny.
were great.
And everyone starts trading her stuff for it. And they all start working together because when she's tilling the ground and everything, she's also getting to know the other people of the community.
Yep.
She's meeting the others, single mothers with small children. She's meeting the group of busybody old ladies, the two that are arguing back and forth with each other. And she is welcomed into the community, into the family. And it's just wonderful to see. And she's now the potato person. And frankly, she's had a little bit of help keeping the potatoes safe from not being dug up by the boars
She
who are
has.
digging up a lot of other things, because there's kind of a pecking order to the forest.
Yes.
And Yuki has kind of helped her keep the boar away. It's not actually said at any given point in time.
I just
but
think like maybe the scent of wolves are just is
the scent
partly
of wolves is
partially
going to
helping.
keep, because the scent is definitely there. That's something that
'Cause the
we're going
kids
to
are
bring
just
up a little
flying
later on.
everywhere.
Honestly, we're going to talk
Two
about a
turning
boy
points.
and a fox in a moment, because those are the two that really turn things around. But the scent of the wolves is definitely on them, and I'm sure that that's what's keeping the boars away.
Yeah.
So the kids continue to grow, and Yuki starts school, and a year later, Ami starts school, and Yuki starts to make some friends, right?
Yeah. She's definitely the more social of the two.
Yeah. And you're watching another montage as they're going through the grades, how Yuki's slowly getting surrounded with more friends, and she's wearing pretty dresses, and she's working harder for schoolwork. And Ami is just slipping back in the
She's
classroom.
getting a little bullied too.
Not that Yuki allows
Oh
that to
no,
happen.
that was funny. I'll admit.
So, she takes care of the ones that are picking on her brother, but that doesn't make him any less lonely.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's not loneliness, because before all this started, there was a winter day where they were all playing outside, and something instinctively happened in Ami. He saw a bird catch a fish, and he wanted to catch the bird. And he had a little incident with the river and everything, and he hits his head, and he's going through, and Yuki jumps in and saves his life. But when Hana catches up, Ami's not talking about getting hurt or anything.
Not being in the water and getting scared or anything. Yeah.
He's talking about the thrill of what it was like to catch the bird.
He was like, I did it. I caught it. I haven't caught something like that before.
Yeah. And now you're seeing this wolf girl who is all playful puppy and catching all sorts of
Bugs.
frogs and bugs and everything, start to become a girl that loves wearing dresses
Ladylike.
and hanging out with her friends. And you had this boy who was shy and didn't want anything to do with nature, who now has a desire to lone wolf and hunt.
And learn more about it too.
And both Yuki and Ami meet a special someone. Talk to us about Yuki's special someone.
So there's a new kid in Yuki's class, brand new kid. His name's Sohei. And he has to sit behind Yuki. And he makes this remark, and he's just like, do you have a dog? And she's like, no, why would you think that? And he's like, I think I smell a dog on you. Like, you have to have a dog. And
it wasn't in a bad way like she smelled. It was kind of like
a dog smell.
Oh, I like dogs too,
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
He was being very blunt about it, but like not mean about it. But she kind of took that personal. Like, she doesn't want her secret known. And it gets to the point where she just avoids him completely. If he's trying to talk to her, she just keeps going. She walks away. And he thinks it's because he's a transfer student. He thinks that she's being mean to him. And she's doing it because she just wants to keep her secret. Like, really, that's all it is. But he eventually just follows her and is like, what is your problem with me? Is it because I'm a transfer student? Is it because I'm just the new kid? And he kind of like grabs her, which don't do. Hands off. And she reacts.
And it's not a good reaction.
It's not a good reaction.
Because the wolf comes out and scratches the side of his ear. He knows at that moment, but he also knows that he doesn't see everything too clearly. He knows it was a wolf that attacked him. And it's one of those things where things arise with that, and it puts Yuki into a funk. But eventually, Yuki gets out of that, and Sohei forgives her because he's wanting to get to know her better, because something about her really impresses him, and he becomes that really close friend, like even closer than all the girls in the class. And the two of them really make a bond that's important in the end part of the movie. And the other bond that's really important, Ami runs into the one who's the head of the forest. It's an elder red fox. This is the fox that keeps everyone in line. And he calls this fox Sensei because he is the teacher. He is the old man of the forest. And he shows Ami all sorts of things. And Ami's just traveling around with Sensei, learning everything about how to be a wolf from this fox. And the fox is getting older and looking for a successor. And Ame is very much being trained to be that successor. So you have Ame with Sensei, you have Yuki with Sohei, and you have everything starting to come into place until the day of the huge storm. And that's where we're going to leave you guys. There's really 3 stories going on. It's the story of the overall, it's Yuki's story, and it's Ame's story.
Mm.
I'm going to hurdle over you because I normally send it to you
Fine.
first to talk about,
Go
but
for it.
as a parent watching this, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed this either way, but it was extra meaningful. I keep on bringing up the montages, but it was a masterclass on that.
Mhm.
Great movie, great visuals, music. Honestly, one of my favorites I've seen in a long time. Wolf Children now holds a special spot with me. How about you, hon?
I mean, absolutely fair. And same. All you parents out there, you should watch it. You really should. It hits different. I mean, you don't have to have kids, but it hits different when you're a parent and you've watched your children start to grow.
Mm.
Definitely watch it though. It was so good. It had such cute moments, such heartwarming moments, and the ending just hit well too. It was very well done.
Very well done. So once again, we dove into the world of how Hana met the Wolfman and the life that they started to form together. We went into the births of Yuki and Ami, Hana's early struggles as a single mom in the city, and their journey out to the countryside. Then we watched Yuki and Ami come of age with the help of Sohei and the sensei. We hope you had as much fun exploring the world of Wolf Children as we have, and consider watching this anime movie. So if you like what you heard today, make sure you listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you stream your podcast. Listen to all of our JMill for Real podcasts, and hit us up on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Once again, this was Exploring Anime with Friends. Let's explore together. And now for a word from our sponsors. Bin Buster. Live from YouTube, it's Tuesday night, the call sign of the Bin Buster YouTube channel. Once you hear this, you know you're about to embark on a journey through pop culture, movies, comics, and more. Buckle up and enjoy the ride every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. EST. Poppin' Cinema with Joe Mama and friends. Showcasing the power of cinema, join Joe Mama as he introduces different friends each week to a movie they have not seen before, popping their cinematic cherry as they talk about the movie they just watched every Tuesday at midnight.